From the cover of a copse of small pine several yards behind Creed, a pair of dark eyes watched closely as the hunter continued to dress out the buck. Creed had come to the mountains seeking solitude. He wanted to be alone for a while, away from people, until he could sort out a few of the problems facing him. He needed time to find himself again, to make peace with himself, to regain his self-respect and the confidence that he wasn't an evil person because he had killed several men in his short lifetime of 24 years. His plan would have him ride until the last man that he saw was 2 days behind him. Sometimes even the best plans don't work. The dark eyes continued to spy on the hunter kneeling over the dead deer. The right moment to move forward with great stealth would be soon in coming. Having made all the necessary cuts, Creed jammed the buoy into the dirt beside him. He dug his hands into the buck's hot, bloody chest cavity, took hold of the windpipe above the heart with both hands, and pulled with all his strength. When the organs broke loose, he rocked backward, but didn't tumble as his buttocks came to rest on the heels of his boots. A steamy vapor rose from the carcass and vanished into the cool mountain air. Creed continued to remove the animal's innards. Seeing that the hunter was engrossed with the work of gutting the deer, the dark-eyed man stepped quietly from the copse of pines. His soft-soled rawhide boots made no noise as he stalked closer to Creed, who continued to remove the entrails from the dead buck. Now, only an arm's length behind Creed, the watcher stood poised to attack, but he had no weapons except his bare hands, and Creed's buoy. Out of the corner of his eye, Creed noticed a shadow on the ground come beside his own. He pulled the last of the organs from the carcass and tossed them aside as if he suspected nothing out of the ordinary. He allowed himself to glance at the silhouette for an instant before feigning a return to the task in front of him. Damn, he thought, some man. A second look. Oh, damn, thought Creed. He's an Indian. He was an Indian, a Ute warrior attired in plain buckskin tunic and trousers. His rich black hair was parted on the right side, but it was also braided in 2 tails with leather thongs. He was stout and powerful of build with a strong jaw and stern expression. Creed reached for his knife. The Ute attacked, throwing himself full force atop Creed, slamming the hunter to the ground next to the deer carcass. Having preempted Creed's attempt at the buoy, the Indian's right hand grabbed the handle of the knife and pulled it from the dirt. Creed wanted to retaliate, had to fight back. He rolled to his right, hoping to throw the Indian off him and give himself the opportunity to draw his Colt from his waistband. If unsuccessful at this, then at the very least he hoped to stop the youth from stabbing him with the buoy in the next instant. The warrior anticipated Creed's maneuver and allowed the Texan to turn over beneath him. As soon as the Texan was on his back, the Ute dropped down hard on his gut, driving the wind from Creed's lungs and leaving his victim powerless against further attack. The assailant held the knife high over his head, but he didn't bring it down into Creed's defenseless body. The death blow forestalled, because he felt the grip of Creed's revolver digging into his right buttock. I'm a dead man, thought Creed. Not yet, he wasn't. The Indian bounced to his feet in one instant, and in the next, he reached down with his left hand and drew Creed's gun from the Texan's pants. Coming erect, he cocked the weapon and aimed it at Creed's forehead. Regaining some of his breath, Creed ignored the Colt in the Indian's hands and focused on the Ute's eyes, glazing his own orbs with calm complacence. Never let your enemy see inside your heart, he heard his grandfather, Hawk McConnell, saying. Recognizing a man who wasn't afraid to die, the warrior didn't shoot. Instead, he tossed the buoy aside, shifted the Colt to his right hand, bent over, grabbed Creed's shirt front with his left, and jerked the Texan into a sitting position. Straightening up again, the Ute planted the sole of his right foot on Creed's shoulder and pushed him down the slope. After tumbling several yards, Creed managed to stop himself. He hurt bad, in the gut and in his head because it had struck a rock along the way. He sat up slowly, painfully, and looked back up the hill at the Indian kneeling over the pile of entrails. What's he doing? Wondered Creed. He forced himself to stand and took a tentative step uphill. His legs hurt, too. The warrior stood up. He heard Creed making noise behind him and turned to see what this hunter would do now. Creed stopped moving toward the Indian as soon as he saw that the Ute held the deer's liver in his left hand and was eating it voraciously. The Texan shook his head. Why didn't you just say that you were hungry? He said as if he expected the Indian to understand him. I'd have shared the deer with you.